Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Jim Conlan, and welcome to this edition of the Entertainment Show, where we look at iconic TV series and upcoming movies and TV series which are debuting here in Ireland and the UK in the next month, and particularly of Ireland's interest here. And one of the most prominent shows that we've already seen 4 seasons of it on Netflix UK here in Ireland is the one and only Van Helsing. Anyone remembers the original Van Helsing movie in terms of back in the early sort of 90s? This is a TV series where the main character is based around the Van Helsings, is a woman lead, Vanessa Van Helsing, and her sister and her crusade against the Walking Dead, the vampires. And our guest this evening talking about that actually plays the offspring of Vanessa Van Helsing. She plays the character Jack. She's the one and only Nicole Munoz. Nicole, hopefully I got that pronunciation right of the surname first of all. But Nicole, 4 seasons of Van Helsing. I know you came in terms of season 4 and a sort of pivotal sort of role as well, taking on a new sort of generation of strong female leads in terms of that sort of Van Helsing sort of dynasty, which was brought up by Vanessa and her sister in the first sort of 3 series. You take on that role now with your sister, a new sort of sister, Violet. And in terms of that, coming on a real hit sort of show and coming in as a lead character straight off the bat in season 4, was that a fairly daunting experience for you?
I found it exciting. It offers lots of opportunity when you come on a show that's already well established. All the fans and supporters welcome you with open arms, and it gives you the freedom to play with your character as much as you choose. To come onto a set with as many powerful female characters as we have was very inspiring, and I think we're setting good examples for other shows to follow.
And Nicole, I actually saw one of your episodes there in season 4 doing the research, and it was one of those when the actual outbreak of the rising of the Walking Dead happened, and you're in a side hotel room yourself and the 4 girls, and then a sort of police station, and we got to see all signs of this sort of normal sort of cheerleader type girls going playing. I think it was a badminton match, and within the space of half an hour, you're killing each other inside in hotel rooms, being possessed and shooting each other and jumping off sort of buildings. That must have been a real sort of wacky day on our sort of set, and an awful lot of fun and awful lot of laughs and giggles when you sort of saw that script in terms of how sort of out there it really was, because you actually go to a thing where you're actually stabbing one of your best friends, I think 7 times, trying to stop her from attacking you.
I had to stab her as many times as it took to get the vampire out of her.
Yeah.
The things you got to do in the apocalypse. That episode was one of the scripts that I got from that show that I picked up and I did not put down until I was done. I mean, I'm a bit biased because it's my character Jack's backstory, and it's a group of girls that are doing an archery competition, which is important because my character in the apocalypse, her weapon of choice is a bow and arrow. So that's where that comes from.
Okay.
But yeah, that episode was very fun to shoot. It's a lot of my friends from Vancouver that were playing all the other girls. So we got to go around and shoot a really fun episode. And that episode was shot mostly as oneers. So one takes for multiple scenes. Sometimes a take would be about 10 to 15 minutes long. So that was a challenge in itself. It felt a little bit like theater, and we would spend all day rehearsing, and then the last 2 to 3 hours we would film.
And in terms of that sort of dynamic, your character Jack sort of playing this sort of half sort of sister, and I suppose for sisters you couldn't be so sort of different in terms of, you definitely don't have that sort of twin appeal. One is a strong sort of feisty sort of character, and another is sort of what I'd say more renegade, sort of rebellish. Your sort of Jack character, maybe she's a bit confused about her own sexuality, as we sort of see in those sort of 1 or sort of 2 episodes. And then you got a real sort of feisty sort of sister that's aggressive and sort of gets into your sort of face. So that chemistry that you have with the sort of Violet character, was it important really to establish that? And was there an awful lot of testing when you got the role between to see if there was a good niche between you in terms of testing both of you out together?
There was no testing. They
Okay.
cast in a bit of a hurry, I think. Things moved quick out in Vancouver. So we were just lucky that Kia King, who plays Violet, and I got along so well. We met on our first day. Our first day was fight rehearsal. So I was saying before in a separate interview that when you work out with somebody, you quickly get to learn what they're like and their best, and when they're overcoming things mentally, and you create kind of a very strong bond. So Kia and I bonded that way at first, and then through stories later. So it was very fortunate that it was her that got to be my sister.
And I suppose, Nicole, I'll bring you on now to why a good starting talking point, and I suppose why we have you here. Season 5 is around the corner. I know you're sort of shooting it there in the United States at the moment, and I was speaking to Trisha Helfer recently, and she bore the exciting news that she's appearing. I know she's appeared in the tail end of season 4 as the main sort of character, the Dark One, Dracula herself. And I suppose getting to work with Trisha Helfer, another strong lead who we all know her from her Cylon days in Battlestar Galactica, that must be a very sort of exciting experience. And you obviously work very closely with Trisha in season 5.
I do, yes. Yeah, Trisha came on at the end of season 4, introduced as Dracula, our big villain, of course, Van Helsing's main nemesis. We shoot this in Canada, and we finished filming this, I believe, sometime last October. But the show is currently airing in the States right now, but we don't get it in Canada and the rest of the world till next year. But with Trisha, for season 5, we got to do some very special things. We shot out in Slovakia for 3 of the episodes. So I got to spend lots of time with her in Europe and listen to all of her stories and watch her act. I love seeing her play Dracula because that is typically a man's role, and to see what she gets to do and what she chooses to do with as much creative liberties as she wants, really, because she's creating Dracula the way she wants Dracula portrayed. And I think she's made a very, very strong, powerful choice. And this season finale is going to be very incredible for lots of people.
Yeah, I suppose Nicole as well, in sort of a sort of female, sort of driven show in terms of this orientation of Van Helsing. There's still 2 strong, really strong, dominant male leads, and we particularly see it as well in season 5. They still have a big bearing to play. Alex Paunovic, who plays Julius, and Jonathan Scarf as well, obviously contributing his sort of long standing role in the series as well. So it's important really that those sort of mainstay characters that were there from day one obviously are still very much involved in season 5.
Exactly. I think it's very important because it carries the story through from beginning to end. Julius has a very beautiful story arc this year, and I think the viewers will be very touched by where his character ends up. And Jonathan Scarf has been very fun to work with. He directed the first 3 episodes of season 5 out in Slovakia. So not only do I get to work with him as an actor, but also as an actor-director relationship. And he brings so much to the table. I think we all agree that he is the hardest working castmate we have.
Yeah, and Nicole, in terms of season 5, in terms of your character, you're sort of caught in the void of, say, good and bad in terms of being possessed, in terms of we see a fight for your entity, really, your soul developing throughout sort of season 5, and you have to sort of fight to really earn the right to be who you want to be, really.
Yeah, Jack has a very big uphill battle ahead of her in season 5, humanity basically on her shoulders, and she has a plan and has a plan B and a plan C, and you watch her quickly go down that list, because in the apocalypse, no matter what you have in your head, it's just something else is going to come along and kind of mess up your plans. So poor Jack has to go through a lot this year, but we get to watch her grow as a person and find who she is, even in between, you know, chopping head off and killing other vampires. She has time to do a little bit of self-discovery, and so it's interesting to watch the show also through the point of view of seeing all these female characters find their inner strength and who they are and blossom.
And Nicole, in terms of while working on set of Van Helsing, and obviously it's a major sort of lead for you, have you found since being on the show that it's opened up more doors and more opportunities for yourself in developing your acting career going forward as a young actress? Do you obviously feel the lure and appeal being involved in a hit show in terms of that sort of name, sort of generation out there that's been involved in such a project that Van Helsing brings?
Yeah, Van Helsing has brought lots of opportunity for my career. It's opened many doors for me in terms of auditions and different projects I get to now at least even try out for that I would not have been able to prior, especially because now I've been a lead on an ensemble cast show for 2 years now, so that brings some meaning in the industry. I do also would like to mention that the show Van Helsing has a very loving and supportive fan base. So to be able to join in on their support and to have them now follow me through Van Helsing and now through the rest of my career, that's also very important. And I can really feel that support, and it kind of guides me towards my next gigs.
I suppose, Nicole Munoz, if I can turn it over to your character, Jack, now for the last 30 seconds, and she might enlighten our viewers and our listeners and our audience here in Ireland who are waiting for the release of Van Helsing season 5 here on channel Netflix UK. Obviously not giving too much away, but in terms of what sort of adrenaline ride they're going to see in terms of season 5 of Van Helsing. And over to you, Jack.
Season 5 is going to take you to lots of places and times. Jack, I have been to the past and to the present, and there are going to be lots of fights, some small, quick ones, and some very, very big ones that I hope you can help me win.
On that note, Nicole Munoz, an absolute pleasure talking to you today as we joyfully look ahead to the anticipation of season 5 of the hit TV show Van Helsing debuting here in Ireland on channel Netflix. And no doubt, Nicole, first of many great projects that we're going to see you for in the upcoming years. And please God, we get to come back again and talk about some exciting projects for you in the near future. But for the moment, as Nicole Munoz says, we wait in the joyful anticipation for season 5 of Nicole Munoz and what's in store for our character Jack.
That was good. Thank you so much. I look forward